In our last few classes, we were talking about SAP SD overview, in which we try to understand, what are the different processes exist in SAP SD, and what are the different functionalities available in SAP SD, and very high level we try to understand what are those functionalities, what are those processes. Okay, and now we will continue to discuss about the functionality. Now we will continue to discuss about the functionality of SAP SD. So when you look at the functionality or the process, you can see something called the supply chain process. Like it's not only SD, the generic supply chain process of SAP is like in a business. The generic process of SAP, or like any business, is the customer places the order, and then once the order is placed, once the order is placed, your your warehouse people need to pick the goods. Your people need to get the goods or pick the people from the warehouse, and then you need to, once you pick the once you what okay once you place the order for your customer, and then based on the order, based on the order quantity, based on the order delivery date, based on the order quantity and the order sales or delivery date, you need to pick the goods, and then you need to issue the goods to the customer. Issue the goods means, goods issue means like sending the goods or shipping the goods to the customer. So once you ship the goods, what happens? Like once the goods leave the premises, once the goods left your premises, okay, then you need to generate a billing document. Generate a billing document. That means sometimes you, while sending the goods, along with the goods also you will give the billing document, and sometimes you will create the billing as a separate after the goods issue. And once the goods issue is done, once the goods issue is done, you will create the billing document. And once the billing also completed, what happens? So that billing information, so as a SAP SD guy, as a SAP SD guy, you take care of the supply chain process till billing. As a SAP SD ERP consultant, you take care of supply chain process till billing. That means you generate the invoice document. You because you handle the price, you handle the availability check, you handle the transfer of requirements to the different departments, and you handling all other taxes and all. Okay, SD guy will handle it. So because of that, you know how much bill it would be. You are the right person. SAP SD people or SAP SD end users or SAP SD department is the right department to decide what is the correct invoice amount, what is the correct billing amount. So because of that reason, you create the billing document and your job is done. And immediately what happens? So once the billing document is created or once the invoice document is created, that information will be transferred, that information will be integrated. Actually, transferred is not right word. Integration is the right word. So the billing information is integrated because you create the invoice document, but you don't collect it, but you don't get that amount. So who will get that amount? Your finance department. So finance department means what? Every finance department, every finance and the controlling department and the costing department, they have two sections. One is the account receivables, one is the account receivables, and the other one is the account payables. So that means any kind of financial transaction, whether it would be related to the payment, whether it would be related to the receiving. So whether it could be receiving the payment or making the payment to the customer, making the payment to the vendor, or the receiving the payment to the customer. So why do we need to make the payment to the vendor? Why do we need to make the payment to the vendor? Who is the vendor?
Or the who
From the
suppose
one whom we. Oh, go
Yes,
ahead.
the person for the member from whom we receive the goods, the member from whom we procure the goods, we procure the raw materials, we procure the semi-finished goods. Okay, even sometimes you receive the goods, final goods, and you sell it to someone else. So whoever the member supply the goods or sending the goods to your company is called as a vendor. So when you receive the goods to the vendor, what you need to do? You have to make the payment, right? You have to make the payment. So because of that reason, so there are two areas the financial department is responsible. One is they need to receive the payment from the customer. They need to receive the payment from the customer, which is nothing but account receivables forever based on our billing document. And also sometimes they need to make the payment. They need to make the payment to the vendor. That is account payable department. One in FI side, in the FI module, in the FI department, one is the account receivables, which is responsible to get all the payments from the customer, and the other one is the account payables to make the payment to all our vendors. Okay, and once the account receivables will take care of account receivables thing, and final thing is final payment. So the supply chain process starts with the placing the customer order in the system, and then picking the goods, which is nothing but delivery, which is nothing but we call in SAP as a delivery order delivery, because while creating the delivery we pick the goods, even in frankly speaking. So like in order to pick the goods or in order to pack the goods, okay, to perform these activities we create the delivery document. Actually delivery is nothing but it's not the real delivery of the goods. Delivery is the process where you start making the things ready for sending the or ready for shipping the goods to the customer. That means all the pre-shipping related activities, all the pre-shipping related activities happens in the delivery document. Order delivery. Delivery means it's not the real delivery. Your delivery document will help you to perform all the pre-shipping. Pre-shipping means you need to pick the goods, you need to pack the goods, right? So for example, if you are using like warehouses, so you need to reach out warehouses and bring back the goods from the warehouses. So in order to take care of all these things, you do the delivery. So hence, like you can say, picking out after order, you need to pick the goods, which is nothing but delivery. And then post goods issue. Okay, post goods issue means the real shipment of the goods, the real shipping of the goods to the customer, and then billing, and then account receivables, and then final payment. So this is the typical supply chain process, which is tightly configured, which can be tightly configured, which can be effectively configured in the SAP SD module of SAP ERP software. Okay. Okay. So basically, you can say like there are total very high level SAP SD module is classified, or SAP SD module is divided into different steps. Okay, those are sales process, shipping process, billing process, and the account receivables. It's not our SAP SD, but just to the reason for the reason for considering FI, the reason for always talking about FI is the reason for talking about FI is we always like work with FI team after billing, because sometimes your your billing information will not be transferred, your billing information will not be integrated with FIT. Then you need to check your billing document. You need to check your invoice document. So actually, what is the requirement? The requirement is whenever you create billing document in the SD module, the requirement is this information has to integrated or has to transfer to the FIT. Otherwise they cannot get the goods. Sorry, they cannot get the payment. They cannot get the payment. They don't know how much payment they have to receive from the customer. They don't know how much amount of money, okay, or what is the total quantity of the goods we made the sales. What is the total value of money which we made to as part of our sales? They don't know. That is the reason at any point of time the billing information has to be integrated with the FIT. Okay, so here you can say there are mainly three departments: sales, shipping, and billing. So what is the sales? What we do? So as part of the sales process, we talk about enquiry. We talk about enquiry, or you can say the sub areas of sales, the sub topics of sales: enquiry, quotation, and sales order. Basically, enquiry and quotation nowadays, very less people are using enquiry and quotations. Most of the clients are directly going with the sales order. But still, we'll discuss. Okay, for the knowledge purpose, we will discuss. What is enquiry, what is quotation, what is the sales order. So basically, very high level, SAP SD is classified into sales, shipping, and billing. So what will happen in the sales, or what are the responsibilities? What are the responsibilities will be filled? What are the responsibilities fulfilled by the sales department, or what responsibilities will be taken care by the sales department? The sales department, or the sales section, the sales department is responsible to take care of enquiry, to take care of quotation, and also to take care of the sales order. So enquiry, quotation, and sales order related activities are part of sales section. So all the sales department people are responsible for this. So when you think about SAP sales, you need to remind that okay, enquiry is part of sales, and quotation is part of sales, and sales order is also part of sales. And then shipping. So when you say shipping, so this is basically the sales people, the sales responsibilities, the sales department or the sales process responsibility is like talking to the customer, enquiry, providing the enquiry details to the fulfilling the questions related to the enquiry, okay, and providing the quotation to the customer, and also creating the sales order for the customer. And in the similar way, like when you think about the shipping, so this is the process which will take care of creating the delivery document. So which is nothing but which is nothing but a pre-shipping document, or you can say pre-shipping process document. So creating a delivery document and performing the picking process. If packaging is there, performing the packaging also, and finally doing the post goods issue. Shipping means delivery, picking. Picking actually it's part of the delivery. Picking is part of the delivery, and packing is also part of the delivery. In fact, even the goods issue document also will be part of the delivery document. That means your delivery document will have a total 3 sections. Your delivery document will have total 3 sections. 2 pre-shipping activities, one the direct shipping, that is picking, packing. Picking, packing is part of your delivery, which is nothing but pre-shipping or the shipping preparation activities, picking and packing, and goods issue which is actual shipping. So the pre-shipping and actual shipping is part of the delivery document. Okay, so that will be taken care by the shipping process. And billing is like creating the invoice based on the quantity what we issue to the customer. Billing is nothing but sending the invoice or creating the invoice in the system, okay, for the value of the goods we send to the customer, the quantity of the goods we send to the customer. Okay, when you think about the billing, there are different billing uh, areas, billing types. Okay, sometimes you create the regular billing document. Sometimes you create a billing. If you charge more amount to the customer, or sometimes you create a billing when you charge less to the customer. Okay, either you charge less to the customer, whether you charge more to the customer. Okay, whatever it is the scenario, we have different kind of billing documents provided by the system, like billing document, credit memo, debit memo. Sometimes if the customer returns the goods, sometimes if for example, when you buy the goods from the shop, and when you go back to the shop to return the goods, so they will give the return slip, right? They will give the return document. In the similar way, in SAP also, we have regular billing document, we have credit memo document, we have debit memo document. Basically, credit memo means whenever you charge more from the customer, you will issue the credit. You will issue the credit to the customer. And whenever you charge less from the customer, then you will issue the debit memo to the customer to get the balance amount. So written invoice. So basically, the written invoice is the invoice which you created in the system when the customer return the goods, like when the goods are damaged, when the goods are not good, and the customer is not interested in the goods, you issue a written invoice. So all these kind of invoices will be taken care by the billing department. Sales, shipping, and billing. Any doubts here?
No, Venkat.
Okay.
Venkat, you will be sharing some material, right, for study material?
Yes. All the presentation material which I am using here and any other material, I will share all the materials. Okay. So when you talk about sales, what things will be taken care? What are the important things we need to take care? So when you create an order, when you create a quotation, okay, the main important things are you need to check whenever you are giving the quotation to the customer. Okay, whenever you are giving the quotation to the customer, you need to make sure what time the goods are available, right? So, for example, when the customer inquiry about the goods, when the customer inquired about goods to you, so what things you have to take into consideration while giving the quotation to the customer? When the customer inquire you about the, certain goods sales, before you provide the quotation to the customer, what things you need to take care? You need to
You need to take the customer's address,
Yes, you need
contact.
to ask how soon you want to deliver the goods, right? You need to ask how soon he wants to get the goods. And also you should have a system. You should have a system which will check the availability of the goods and confirm back to the customer in the systematically, correct? Okay, so you need to ask them how soon, how since to the delivery date for to deliver the goods, or how soon the customer wants the goods. And also, when you create a quotation in the system, this document, the quotation should able to check whether the goods are available, okay, for the given delivery date or not. That should be automatic, right? Every time you cannot go to the warehouse and check and give the confirmation back to the customer. Is it good? Like going manually and then going physically and check the goods and checking the giving the confirmation to the customer is a good idea? No, right? There should be
No.
an automatic. There should be an automatic availability of checking of the availability of the goods and confirm back to the customer. And also, when you are giving the quotation to the customer, the main important thing, the very important thing is, like you need to check the price. That means the system go back to the records, the system go back to the price records, and the system go back to the price records, and it has to determine price automatically to the quotation. Like whenever you are creating a document, what happens? Okay, the system has to check the price records created by the people, price records created by the people, and according to the records, it has to determine the price automatically in the document. And can you think of here? So when you create a quotation, when you are just giving the quotation to the customer, uh, do you really need to integrate information? Do you really need to transfer the information to the account receivables department, finance department? Just when you are just taking
No.
care of the quotation, no, right? Because
No, not yet.
quotation is just like uh, document which you are providing the details about your sales agreement. So you are just trying to have an agreement with our customer. So what price you wanted to what price you can sell, what on what delivery, on what date you can deliver, and at what price you can sell. So you are just making a small pre-sales agreement with your pre-sales agreement with our customer. So hence, there should not be any need. There should not be any need to have this information transferred to the FI department. So that is the reason you can say that no impact to the finance people or the finance department. And also, if we what you create after inquiry and quotation, what document you create inquiry and quotation?
It would be sales order.
Sales order. So basically, inquiry and quotation are like a pre-sales process. So actual sales is the sales order. Actual sales is the sales order in the system. Okay. So what are the pre-sales? What activities you do before the sales? What activities you do before the sales? You create inquiry and you inquiry with your customer, and also you create the quotation document. Okay, you provide the quotation to the customer. So which are nothing but pre-sales activities. So when you are doing the inquiry and the quotation, so what you do, you take care of, you verify the delivery date of the goods, you determine the availability of the goods, and you also check automatic pricing. You also verify the price automatically. That means the system can automatically verify the price. Okay, and also with respect to the inquiry and quotation, since these are the pre-shipping documents, there is no impact to the FI department. And also one important thing is, okay, let us say you create a quotation to the customer. So what is the next thing? The next thing is the customer placing the sales order to the customer, right? So once you give the quotation to the customer, if the customer is okay, what you do? If the customer is okay, what you do? The customer is okay with your quotation. That means customer is okay with your delivery date. Customer is okay with the pricing, and the customer is good to go ahead. Then what you create in the system after quotation?
Sales order.
We create the sales order.
Sales.
So here, whenever you are creating the sales order, you need some data, right? You need some data. So who is the customer? What is the product? Okay, and other like Incoterms, payment terms. All there are many important data elements what you enter. So if you are creating a sales order for the quotation XYZ, if you are creating the sales order for the quotation XYZ, what do you think? Like, is it good to create all the details one more time, or can you just use the reference? Can use, because you are creating a sales order for this quotation, right? You are creating the sales order for XYZ quotation. Then what you can do, instead of entering all the data in the sales order, instead of entering all the data in the sales order one more time, what you can do, you can create a sales order with reference to this XYZ quotation, right? Am I correct?
Yes.
So for example, if you just refer the XYZ in our sales order, what happens? Whatever the data, the complete data of the quotation, will be copied to the sales order, so that you don't need to enter the sales order. Sorry, customer. You don't need to enter goods. You don't need to enter the product name. You don't need to enter the delivery date. You don't need to enter the product quantity. You don't need to enter the plant. So all these things you don't need to enter. You will save a lot of time, right? You will save a lot of time. So that means whenever it is like this, whether it is inquiry, quotation or order, it is recorded with a number. So 200011, 300011, 40056, like this, each inquiry or the quotation is represented and recorded with a number. So that means if a quotation is, for example, your quotation number is 100456. So what you can do while creating the order, while creating the sales order, you can see that the reference section. So you can say, okay, this sales order I am going to create with reference to this number. Once you enter this number, once you specify this number while creating the sales order, okay, what happens? Whatever the data is there in the quotation, whatever the data, let me try to open the, actually, okay, system is not ready. Okay, whatever the data is available in the this quotation, all the data will be configured, will be transferred to the sales order. So that way your business users will save a lot of time. They can save a lot of time, which is very crucial to the business, because the productivity will be more. Whenever you have the functionality of copying the old data, copying the previous document data to the new document data. So that way, you can use this inquiry and quotation. You can use this inquiry and quotation as a reference document. You can use this inquiry and quotation as a reference document to the sales order, as a reference document to the sales order. Okay, that is the inquiry and quotation. Okay. And now we are talking about the sales order. So as part of the sales process, you understood that there are basically three sections. There are basically three sections: sales section, shipping section, and billing section. And as part of the sales section, what we understood, we have some pre-sales activities and actual sales related activities. So what are the pre-sales? The pre-sales activities are
Quotation and inquiry and quotation.
The pre-sales activities are inquiry and the quotation. And what is the next thing? The next thing is the sales, actual sales, that is the sales order. Okay, so now we are going to talk about okay, what impact the sales order makes, what impact the sales order makes on different areas. Okay, and what kind of data will be determined in the sales order. Okay, and also what are the different functions? What are the different functions? What are the different functions executed? What are the different functions executed automatically in the sales order process? What are the different functions executed in the sales order process? So this is what we are going to discuss. Okay, sorry. It's, it muted myself. Okay. So while creating the sales order, so what happens? Like you can say the sales order is that core activity of the order management. You can say the core activity or the core functionality of the order management or sales order management is like creating the sales order. And when you create a sales order, okay, just wanted to just wanted to inform you that even here, even as part of the sales order also, no information will be transferred to the billing people, accounting people. You know why? Can anyone tell me why when you create a sales order, no need of transferring the information to the accounting people?
Maybe they would have certain blocks, like, credit block or something.
Yes, that means even though you create a sales order, even though you create a sales order, so there is no guarantee that you are shipping the goods to the customer. It is just sales order. It is just a sales order, okay, which you are making an agreement, with your customer. So while doing the sales order, so the customer, maybe having, like, after sales order, the customer can change his mind, or the customer, while creating the sales order, you will come to know the customer is having some huge outstanding credit which he has not make the payment yet. Okay, and also like the customer is credit history is not good. Okay, that means like there is always possibility the sales order may not execute. There is always possibility the sales order may not execute further. The sales order may not execute further. So because of that reason, so there is it's not a good idea. It is not good idea, like to transfer the like sales information to the billing people. Okay, so because of that reason, so no need of transferring the sales order sales information to the accounting at the sales order level. Okay, and not only that, sometimes like you may not able to deliver the goods, right? Am I correct? Sometimes you are also may not be able to deliver the goods because you are not having the like stock, or you are not able to produce the stock due to some other raw materials deficit or whatever it is. So because of that reason, there is no like need of transferring the accounting. There is no need of like differing the GL accounts. Actually GL accounts means I need to explain this. GL account means like from the FI side, from the finance department side, you know what happens when you create a like billing, or when you create whatever some process it is, uh, it happens like this. Each and every amount, so the credit memo go all the like all the billing amounts, all the billing amounts, okay, all the billing like let us say price, all the price amounts go and sit in the one account level. All the discounts go post against sit in the recorded in the one account, and all the freight will be recorded in the one account. So that means at any point of time, it is very easy for your FI team. At any point of time, it is very easy for your FI team to record, okay, okay, what kind of how much amount we have it we have for the prices, how much amount we have received, we paid for the freight, or or we received for the freight, or how much discount we have given to the customers, or for each month kind of thing, uh, uh, is possible for the all the departments by looking at the GL accounts. That is the reason. Okay, what happens? Each and every amount, each and every uh, amounts will be recorded at a like individual GL accounts level. That means from your side, from the sales side itself, we can determine which amount should go to the which GL account. We need to specify which amount will, that is called an account determination. That is called account determination. So there is a functionality called accounting department, okay, in which you specify which amount goes to the which GL account, under which account it has to be posted, under which account it has to be recorded. So that is called that GL accounts, and that is GL account setting up the GL accounts. Setup of the GL accounts will be taken care as part of the account determination. Okay, and also you can use like existing documents to create a sales order, as I already explained. Okay, we can use all our quotation and inquiry. We can use all our quotation and inquiry to create a sales order as well. And also, when you create a sales order, what happens? You can copy the data. So you can copy the data of your customer to the sales order. You can copy the data of your material. You can copy the material data to the sales order. You can copy the customer data to the sales order. Okay, that is the like a copy. That means when you create a sales order, once you enter the customer number, you know what happens? The system get all the customer information to the sales order. Once you specify the sales order to the customer number, once you enter the customer number in the sales order, all the customer details, customer name, okay, customer shipping conditions, customer payment terms, customer info terms, okay, whatever the information is required for sales order from the customer, everything will be copied to the sales order. And once you enter the product, all the product relation information will be copied to the sales order. That means the sales order copies the key information from the master data. What is the master data? Customer master and the material master. These are the master data. And then, so what automatic functionalities? What are the automatic functionalities executed? Automatic functionalities occurred in the sales order. In sales order, that means when you create a sales order, what happens? Okay, the system will perform when you
Availability.
start creating the sales order. When you start creating the sales order, the system will perform different functions. What are those functions? The one is availability check. So when you start creating the sales order, the SAP system can check whether the goods SAP system can perform a functionality called availability check. What it will do? It will execute a functionality. It will execute a functionality called availability check to make sure whether the required goods are available for the given delivery date or not. What is the availability check functionality will do? The availability check functionality will verify whether the goods are available for the given delivery date or not. In other words, it will make sure whether we are able to meet the customer delivery date or not. Availability check will verify whether we are able to meet the customer delivery date or not. And then when you are creating the sales order, okay, what needs to be done? So for example, if you are creating a sales order with the quantity, if you are creating the sales order with the quantity 100, if you are creating a sales order with the quantity 100, which department has to be notified that? Is the sales department is making the goods?
No, it's the procurement
It's procurement or
department
procurement or the production.
production.
If it is outside procure, if you are getting the
Yeah,
goods from the other people, your procurement department has to be notified. If you are making the goods, inside, if it is internal procurement, it has to be notified to the production people.
production.
External
Okay.
procurement, it has to be notified to the your procurement department or the purchasing department as well. So that is the reason where while creating the sales order, that information has to be transferred to the material requirement planning people, MRP people. So if you are creating the sales order, then what happens? Okay, like if you are creating the sales order for a quantity of 100 or like 1,000 or whatever it is, then the sales requirement information has to be transferred or has to be updated, has to be intimated to the material requirement planning people, because based on that the MRP department will take further action. Okay, they will verify whether it is internal procurement inside production or outside production. 1 minute. Okay, that information has to be transferred to the MRP. And then, as we already discussed during the quotation, whenever you are creating the sales order, whenever you are creating the sales order, Okay. And while creating the sales order, the system also has to perform the pricing. The system has to determine the price. The system has to determine the price. The system has to identify the price from the system. Like I mean to say that. So you are creating a sales order. It's actually very high level. I don't even if you don't understand, don't get confused. We will have very detailed discussion later point. Okay. So when you create a sales order, you enter the product. You enter the product, ABC. You enter the product ABC. Okay. So you need to know what is the price for the price of the sales order, right? We need to know what is the price of the sales order. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. For that reason, like, do you enter the price manually for each order?
No.
No, right?
No.
So then what is the mechanism you want? You want something called a price determination mechanism, right? You wanted to determine price automatically for the product in the sales order. That is the goal, right? Your expectation is to determine the price of the each product, to determine the if 100 products are there in the sales order, the expectation is you are expecting the system to determine the price of each and every product, okay, while creating the sales order. So for that reason, what happens, there is a functionality called price determination, pricing determination or pricing process, okay, which will automatically done by the system. That is the pricing. And then, as we already discussed, while creating the sales order, we need to verify the customer credit, right? Whether the customer is good or bad, whether the customer is having any outstanding credit or not. Because it is not a good idea to keep giving the credit to the customer. We should put some limit, right? We should put some limit. Otherwise, if you keep delivering the goods, at the end of the day, if customer says that he is not able to make the payment, then it will be a big loss. It will be a big loss to the company. So that is the reason for each and every order we need to verify. We need to perform the credit check. We need to perform the credit check. So that also has to be executed automatically by the system. So that will take care by the credit management functionality. Okay. We have availability check functionality, which will make sure whether the goods are available for the given delivery date or not. So as part of the sales order creation, which is automatic functionality, and also while creating the sales order, we need to transfer all the sales order requirements. We need to transfer all the sales order requirements like what quantity, what delivery date. That information has to be transferred to the MRP, like production and procurement departments, and also that also should be automatically. And also we need to use the pricing determination. We need to use the pricing determination to determine the price of each product in the sales order creation process. And also we need to perform the credit check functionality to verify whether the customer is having an outstanding credit or not. And also we need to perform the delivery scheduling. So that means we need to do the verification of delivery process, whether the goods are able to deliver to the customer for the given delivery date or not. That also has to be taken care. And also if you are dealing with if you are doing the export, if you are doing the sales, if you are doing the sales for export, then all the export related control, export related activities, all the export related verifications, all the export related functionalities has to be executed while creating the sales order. And also you need to take care what route is being used, to send these goods to the customer. So that is the reason we also need to verify in the sense the system also need to verify what route has to be determined, to deliver the goods to the customer. Okay, like shipping point determination, route determination, export control, delivery scheduling, credit check, all these functionalities, availability check, MRP transfer, pricing determination, credit check determination, delivery scheduling, export control checks, and also determining the route. Determining the route means whether the goods has to go to, for example, if you are delivering from Atlanta, what route system has to use, to deliver the goods. Whether the goods has to go to the first New York and then Canada, and then somewhere else. Like this, you need to define the route, and you need to define the route which has to be used to deliver the goods to the customer. Okay, whether you wanted to use the flight, whether you wanted to use the ship, even if it is a ship, what are the different legs, what are the different stopping points. So all these things will be determined during the route determination process. So like this, these are all the automatic functionalities which will take care of while creating the sales order. I think Umaira has to leave now. Okay.
Yeah, Venkat.
Okay. We'll tomorrow we'll meet same time. Okay. Tomorrow we will meet same time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Venkat.
No problem. Okay.
Bye.
Thank
Venkat,
you.
could you please send that videos and material also whenever you can?
It looks I need to convert it, Vijay. I will send. I will send. Okay.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.